All right, so this says the equation x to the second minus 12x plus b equals 0 has only one solution for x, and they want to know what the value of b is. Okay, so ones that set up like this, first of all, make sure we remember how to do these. So if it is in this form where you just have x to the second minus a number with x, or plus or minus a number with x, plus or minus a constant on the end equals 0. So if it equals 0, they're wanting us to find the values of the zeros. So what that means is you're going to break this up and factor it into this form. It's going to be x, and then plus or minus a number, plus or minus a number. So you're going to break it up into this and then set each of these individually equal to 0 and solve them. And that's how you get your answers or your solutions for x. So the key part here is, okay, and let's talk about how you do that, or how you know how to do that. Your numbers that go here have to add to be this middle number, but multiply to be this number, okay, in order to be put, or in order to work here. This is only for numbers that do not have a number in front of this. We'll talk about on the next example about if there is a number in front of this, how to do those. But this one, if there's no number here, you're looking for a number to figure out what numbers go here and here. You have to figure out what numbers would would add to be the middle number and multiply to be this number. Okay, so key part here too is that this wants there to only be one solution. So normally you would have two solutions with these because whenever you put two different numbers in here and solve them for when you set them equal to 0 and solve them, you would have two answers. In order to have one solution, you would have to have the same number be plugged in here, because then when you solve it, they have the same solution. Okay, so let's look at our multiple choice answers here. A few of these can be ruled out right away because like A, B, and C, if I plug a 0 in for B, a 3 in for B, or a 4 in for B, I'm unable to factor it because there's no number that would add to be negative 12 and multiply to be any of these. Okay, so those can be ruled out right away. So that leaves us with D and E. D and E can each be factored, okay? Because like if I plug a 24 in here, a positive 24, I'm looking for numbers that would add to be negative 12 and multiply to be 24. So the numbers for that are actually, hold on, 24 might not even work. So 24. And another way you can figure this is like make your factor tree. Like you do this in Algebra 1. So like make a factor tree, meaning that these are your factors of 24. So the factors of 24, numbers that multiply to be 24 would obviously be 24 and 1, 12 and 2, 8 and 3, 6 and 4. So all those multiply to be 24. So actually, I was wrong. So 24 also doesn't have any numbers that equal negative 12 when you add them together. So that leaves us with E. So E is going to be our answer, but let's talk about why that is. So E, if I plug E in, I would have x to the second minus 12x plus 36 equals 0. So basically I'm looking for numbers that multiply to be 36 but add to be negative 12. So if I make myself a factors for that, factors of 36, and here's the key though, they have to multiply to be a positive, add to be a negative. So the only type of numbers that can do that are two negative numbers. So when I list these, I'm going to list them both as negative numbers. So we have negative 36 and negative 1, negative 18 and negative 2, negative 9 and negative 4, negative 6 and negative 6. And then over here, you're going to do your sum because you're going to add them together. So this would be negative 37, negative 20, negative 13, negative 12. Okay, so as you can see, we need two factors that add to be negative 12. And that's what negative 6 and negative 6 do. They add to be negative 12. So that is what I'm going to plug in here for each of these. So I take my factors, negative 6, and put it in each of these. And like I said, normally what you do from this step is you take each individual parentheses and set it equal to 0 and solve. So you have x minus 6 equals 0, x minus 6 equals 0. Most of the time, these will be two different equations. But here, as you can see, they're the same. And that's going to be what we need because we need one solution. Because if you solve both of these, you'll get each of them are x equals 6. So that means the only solution is x equals 6. So that would be why E is your answer, because it is the only one. It is what you plug in here to factor and then get one solution for x.